If you just graduated or are trying to break into a new field and you're staring at a blank resume wondering, what on earth am I going to put on this? Then this video is probably for you. Hi, if we haven't met yet, my name is Kim. I am a big tech recruiter and career advancement expert. I help professionals like you land higher paying jobs without stress and confusion. So nice to meet you. Now, I'm going to be straight with you. The job market right now for new graduates is pretty rough. It's a little like living in the upside down. Nothing makes sense and you just can't find the exit. But there is a way to strategically position your resume even without traditional experience. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So, to share a little bit about my experience, I have been a recruiter for almost 15 years now. And for the last 5 years, I have been a big tech recruiter at one of, if not the largest company in the world. So, I have seen my fair share of resumes across all range of experience level. But I think my credibility goes a little bit further than that because it was not that long ago when I was sitting where you were. I was a communication graduate, fresh with just my diploma and a dream and no job. You see, I graduated shortly after the housing bubble burst, and I graduated into the economy that was the worst since the Great Depression. Now, I'm not trying to compare. I'm just telling you that I know what it feels like to submit application after application after application and wonder, when is it going to be my turn? This video is here to help you to avoid some of the mistakes and pitfalls that I made when I was looking for a job. So let's talk about what it is that you can do to position yourself. Now, there are some college majors that yield themselves to a pretty obvious career trajectory. Those are majors like nursing, medical, accounting, legal. Most majors aren't created that way. So you have to be a little bit more creative. So that's where we start to talk about transferable skills. Now, transferable skills, all they are skills that someone would either learn, obtain, or execute in a role that seems to not be relevant to the role that they're applying to in this new job. But in actuality, it actually serves as a pretty close link. So it's important, though, when you're talking about transferable skills, that you, as the job seeker, take on the ownership to connect the dots as to why that's relevant work experience so that the recruiter doesn't have to make that assumption for you. I know you think, well, it seems obvious to me. Shouldn't it be obvious to anyone reading that resume? And maybe it is. But at the high volume of applicants that entry level roles are receiving these days, why risk it? It's in your best interest to make sure that you are connecting those dots on the behalf of the recruiter. So here's a couple of examples to illustrate how you might do that. First example, let's say you're applying for an EA position, so executive assistant. And in that role, you would be navigating and balancing priorities that are dynamic and ever changing, kind of popcorning up throughout your day. So you talk about your experience as a barista and how you navigate a constant influx of changing order requests and execute those in a timely manner without mistakes. Or let's say you are applying for a customer service job or a call center job. You reference your time as a server and how you had to manage customer inquiries on all of your tables in your section at the same time while maintaining a good customer experience. Or let's say that you are applying for a clerical job at your dentist's office. So you talk about your experience as the weekend manager at a retail company. And as the weekend manager, it's your responsibility to close out the till at the end of the shift. So you talk about attention to detail and how that's relevant for the clerical job with your dentist. So when it comes to choosing where to apply, there are a few options. Now, big companies or the more glamorous, popular, well known companies are, of course, always an option. And many of those have dedicated new student departments or university graduate talent acquisition teams. So, if you're interested in a company like that, I always encourage that you check their career website to confirm that you are in communication with the right team of recruiters before you move any further in the process. However, it's important to vary your strategy. And as someone who has been in the recruiting game for a while now, the place that I see new graduates consistently see the most success are with small to medium sized local to regional companies and not for profits. And here's why. Now, of course, the big companies are probably going to also provide the big salaries. And the local companies or the startups, maybe not so much. But where they lack in financial compensation, they almost always exceed expectations for that new employee in terms of scope of work. And from my own personal experience, I can attest that that is true. My first job out of graduate school, at its very largest, that company was 6 people. 6 people, that's it. And I still use the skill sets that I learned in that first recruiting job today in my big tech recruiting job for the biggest company in the world. It's the foundation that you're building. And as you continue to grow and collect your accomplishments and build out your repertoire, your transferable skills also grow and exceed. And you don't know where that'll take you. So here is a hypothetical example to illustrate the point. Let's say that Joe's Tire Company is in desperate need of a social media presence. So you are hired as their first and only marketing coordinator, frankly, only marketing professional in the whole company. So in this new role, you take it upon yourself to conduct market research in regards to Joe's Tire Company competitors locally and regionally. You then build out a social media strategy for both organic and paid social postings across various platforms based off of where you know your customer base most frequently visits. And then you execute the social media, followed by tracking the data and reporting the data to leadership. And then rinse and repeat for the next campaign. After a year or two, you will have this breadth of work that shows that you can not only create engaging content, but also content that yields sales and cultivates results for the company. And you're able to communicate that to company leadership. Not a bad gig. After doing that for a couple of years, you can either work up the ladder at Joe's Tire Company, or you can take that data and apply to new positions at companies like Firestone or GM, because you have now built up a proven track record of yielding company results through your strategic efforts. It's all about how you approach the work. I'm not going to tell you that this is easy because it's not, but you have more to work with than you think. Your resume real estate is valuable, even without this traditional experience. You just need to know how to use it. So reframe your experience, target the right companies, and don't sleep on the little guys. Save this video come back to it because I know you're going to want to revisit it as you start to build out your resume, and give my account a follow. I post videos about resumes and job search advice, and I'd love to see you back here again. Thanks for stopping by and happy job hunting. Bye bye.